Okay, so I'll set up the microphone right here. You know, after a little while, Jackson, you're not even going to notice it.
Oh, okay, no worries. So it can pick up both of us?
Yeah, it's an omnidirectional mic. And so as long as it's kind of equidistant between the two of us, it should be able to pick us both up.
Okay. It doesn't need to be pointed at anyone. I guess that's the omnidirectional.
Right, that's
okay.
right. So I'm going to get myself a big glass of water. I usually like to hydrate while I'm talking. And so would you like a glass of water?
I'll take some of the lemonade.
Lemonade?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Thanks.
Here's a coaster. Lemonade for you.
Thank you.
Sure. And some water for me. All right. So I think that what we can do is just try to stay on topic and just try not to talk over each other. I think that it'll make for a better end product for the audience.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. And then here's a clock. We'll use this clock, and this will give us kind of a gauge of our time. Usually, we don't want the podcast to run too long. But when we're getting close to time, about 10 minutes before, I'll give you a hand signal. I'll do like this, and then that way you'll know that we've got about 10 minutes. I want to make sure that you have time to be able to say what it is that you want to say, and to be able to have the time to be able to do that. Really, what we're going to be talking about is just kind of talking about stereotypes and about labels and a little bit about you and kind of what you see and your generation and kind of how you feel that they're stereotyped or labeled.
Oh, I don't know if I want to be speaking for my whole generation. I don't know if I want to talk for others or anything like that.
Well, I get that, and maybe I said that wrong. What I'm really interested in knowing is what you see, right, in your interactions with people of your own age group, right, of your own generation,
Mm-hmm.
Your interactions with people from other generations, and kind of how you perceive them perceiving you.
Okay.
And that I think would be interesting to our audience.
Yeah, I just don't let it get to me. I don't know.
Well, it's an interesting dynamic because you have these stereotypes that are applied to an entire generation. And it's like, well, if you just happen to be born in that window of time, you must be lazy, or you must not be able to be focused, or you must be this, or you must be that. It's got to be tough when you're bundled with all the other people who happen to have been born in that same generational window, I guess.
Right, and it's just weird to see how even people outside of our generation kind of get lumped in. Like, there's not even a strict definition of what my generation is. It's more so just anyone younger gets labeled as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's almost always the older generation that's doing the designating, right? The labeling.
Right. I mean, my generation usually does it as a joke, but usually I tend to notice older people actually just lump everyone younger than them into one
big bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And blame them for whatever.
Yeah, I see it too. And I think, what concerns me is that I worry that some people just settle in to that stereotype. They're like, well, what's the point? Because, and I've seen it with couples, right? That you get an abusive spouse, right? And they just talk down, and their spouse is a loser, or they don't know anything, or they're stupid, or whatever it is, right? And it's like that other person can do 1,000 things right, but as soon as they do one thing that kind of speaks to that label, then it's, they're slapped across the face with it.
Right. Well, it's just like confirmation bias for the other side. They do one thing that confirms the label that they've ascribed to someone, and then it's like, oh, there we go, there's the proof.
Interesting. So tell me, what is confirmation bias?
Well, just, weeding out evidence that only really supports your bias. For example, if someone of a younger generation was committed or had committed a crime, someone could say, "Oh yeah, look, this generation, they're noir duels. They're not."
Yeah, that's interesting with the labeling like that.
Yeah, labeling kind of sucks. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it has its purposes. I'm sure if you're like a truly lazy person, and people kind of get that sense, and that's the word around town, and maybe you've done something to deserve that label.
Yeah, but then
we've all worked with people that they don't pull their share of the work or anything, right? You can call them lazy, and that's they're truly defined by that word. It's like a perfect fit, right?
But it has nothing to do with the year that they were born in, or
Oh, certainly not. I'm just saying, generally speaking, labels are important, and I shouldn't have said that they suck.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
Well, but what I was getting at is that, like with astrology, for example, it's like, well, if you're born in this month, then this is who you are, right? This you're loyal, or you're passionate, or you're this, or you're that, and it's like it seems like either one of two things is going on, right? Either we're intentionally being programmed, right, to believe these different things and to just apply labels to things in general,
Right.
or it's just part of our DNA to do so, because we have to make so many decisions. I mean, the people in the olden days and back through history, they had to make decisions in a given day, but in terms of the volume of decisions, it sure seems like with technology especially that volume of decisions is having to go up, is going up all the time. It's like year after year. It's like more decisions trying to fit into a given day. And maybe that's one reason why people are so quick to kind of just apply a stereotype or a label.
Just because they have to, because there's so much data anyways?
Right.
Okay.
They're sifting through the data, and they're just like, okay, put this one in this bucket, put this one in this bucket, put this one in this bucket, because they've got to keep up with the flow of information and decision making that's going through. But at the same time, they're taking a very kind of a short-sighted approach, because it's like they're really not examining the true nature of a person if they've already kind of decided who they are and what their potential is, or what their value is, without even getting to know them.
Right. Well, I now that I really think about it, I think I disagree with your statement earlier that it shouldn't even be tied to a generation, because I think you can't say that certain generations, just given the circumstances that they were dealt with, are lazier or more hardworking or more prone to violence.
Because so then you're saying they're a product of their environment.
Well, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't say that someone from my generation typically would be as hardworking as, say, someone during the Industrial Revolution or...
Okay. If you think that labels are good to use, then then you shouldn't mind if they're applied to you.
Okay, sure.
I think that if you think that labels aren't good to use, then you should be aware of yourself and disciplined in yourself.
Okay, but I
not.
think that labels are neutral. I don't think that they're good or bad. So.
Well, what I was talking about in terms of labels were stereotypes. Whoa.
What? Is the mic, muted or something? That would suck if it was muted the whole time, right? It's not, is it?
No. Jackson, we're going to need to finish this up a little later, okay?
Okay, is everything alright?
I'm not sure.
Should I...
No, just give me a few minutes, but let's wrap and we'll finish this up later, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So, we'll just quit the podcast. I don't know.
How much for his medicine? Do you want some company or do you want to be left alone?
I just want to lay down for a little bit and try to get to sleep. If I can't sleep, then I'll be out a little later.
Alright, get some rest. Love you.
Love you too.
Double ones, wow.
Yes! That's a 3. And that's a 4. I get to go again.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow, 5 and a 3.
That's good
So-
too.
It's pretty good.
Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Hey, you okay? You okay?
No, I'm not okay.
What's wrong?
I don't know how to explain it. I'm seeing things from my dreams.
Are you having the same dream over and over again? Sometimes I get that. Yeah.
No, it's different than that, Jackson. It's like the things that are in my dreams. I'm seeing things that aren't really there, and
Looks like it's really affecting you.
it really is. It really is.